back to my channel. Today we're going to be setting up my new bullet journal. If you are new to this channel, I plan mainly in, I have been planning mainly in an A6 ring planner, and I've been in a ring planner, I've been in an A6 ring planner since about, 2017, 2018. I've been in A6 rings for a long time, and I just feel like I need a bit of a change at the moment. So if you don't follow me elsewhere, or you haven't watched any of my other videos, in the past few months I've actually been diagnosed with ADHD, which has kind of changed my perspective on planning, and helped me try to figure out what the best style and method of planning is for me. And it's been a lot of trial and error for the past few months, and I've been trying to use my A6 Rings planner to sort of bullet journal in, and it's been okay, but it's not been quite right. And I do have a flip on my channel, my most recent flip of my A6 Rings planner, so I will link it up in the cards, and that has like the bullet journal elements in it that I've brought in to try and give me a little bit more flexibility. I basically discovered that, well, not discovered, but realised, I suppose, that for the past few years I've been using these inserts for ring planners that have been made by someone else, and they've been made to work a certain way for those people, and they don't necessarily work in the right way for me. And so I've been trying to figure out, okay, what do I actually need my planner to do, and what do I actually need it to be laid out like to make that happen. So for me, my planner is mainly a functional, it's a task-based system. I do also have like a calendar in there to prompt me for things, but I also plan digitally. So I do have a digital calendar. I do still like to have a reference to those things in whatever paper planner I'm carrying around, just because I have this fear that my battery will go on all my devices, or I won't be able to access my Google Calendar or whatever, and that I won't know where I need to be when, and that I won't get those reminders. So I do still need that prompting, but I don't just use my paper planner to actually plan dates and to schedule and things. So as I was figuring out all of this stuff about ADHD, I found out that Ryder Carroll, the inventor of the bullet journal method, actually has ADHD himself. He has a video on a YouTube channel that is about ADHD, talking about how he developed the bullet journal method because he was feeling so scattered and everything was all over the place, and he just wanted to combine it all into one book. And I think that's basically the thing that I've been struggling with the most. Is, as much as I like a ring planner because you can move things round, I struggle with then, if I've taken something out thinking it's not important enough, if it's not there anymore at that point when I need it, I'm then scrambling. It completely throws me off, and I struggle with not being able to that things aren't tangible. I've been doing a lot of effort in, I do my to-do list in my ring planner, and then I transfer it to my Hobonichi, but then I might have lost the notes that went along with it, and I refer back to my daily tasks and process more than anything else. So for me, having like one book where it all is, I think will be, I don't know, I just feel like it will give me a better foundation to work from, I suppose. So I have bullet journaled in the past, and this is something that there is a very old video on my channel about. I used to bullet journal in a traveler's notebook, and the reason that I bullet journaled in a traveler's notebook is because I don't like, I hate, in fact, actually I'm going to say the word hate, I hate having to migrate from book to book and having to like rewrite out certain things. If I can't get a whole year in a book, bullet journaling doesn't work for me. And this is basically the whole why I moved away from bullet journaling in the first place, why I just decided, you know what, it doesn't work for me. I'm going to move to something that is more flexible, is because I didn't like that, you know, you've got your Leuchtturm notebook, and once you've filled it up, that's it. You then, you know, there's stuff in there that I would still need when I am at work that is in that last notebook that I would then be copying over to a new notebook. So when I started thinking about moving back to bullet journaling, I went on a hunt basically, and I decided what I wanted was a notebook with an excessive number of pages basically. I use a Hobonichi Cousin, and it has Tomoe River paper, and it was that sort of made me think, do you know what, if I had a notebook that was made of Tomoe River paper that was still the same thickness, you know, that was still, it had a lot of pages, because when you find notebooks that are meant for bullet journaling that are made of Tomoe River paper, they often are marketed as the fact that it is a Tomoe River paper journal, so it's slimmer. You've got the same number of pages, but it's slimmer. I didn't want the same number of pages. I wanted more pages. So I went on a hunt, and there were a few different companies that I looked at. I looked at Taroko Design, who actually made the notebook that I chopped up to put in my A6 rings. They do an A5 Tomoe River notebook that is chunky, but for some reason they aren't shipping to the UK at the moment. I'm presuming it's to do with the whole customs and tax thing, the VAT thing. But they weren't even shipping to the UK from Etsy, which covers it for you. So I did message them and they didn't reply. So I basically was like, right, okay, well, let's see what else we can find. Originally, I wanted a notebook that had 4mm grid as well. So I was being quite strict. The Hobonichi Cousin has 4mm grid, and it's slightly smaller. You can fit a bit more on a page, and I got a bee in my bonnet about I really wanted to have that smaller grid space, so I had a bit more room. And I even ordered Tomoe River paper to then print my own pages, and I was looking up how to make a perfect bound notebook, how to make a life lab notebook and everything, and I was really considering it. And then I found out about Nanami paper. So Nanami, it's made in Japan, but they're based in the US, and they have a few different notebooks. The one that I originally wanted is called the Studio Notebook, and it's an A5 version of their Cafe Note, which is quite, lots of people use the Cafe Note because they do a B6 Slim and they do an A6. And the Cafe Note has got the 4mm grid. Well, I think it's like 3.7mm grid. So I was holding out for that one. And then because the A5 size was out of stock. And then I noticed in the comments that the owner said that he'd changed the paper from Tomoe River to another Japanese type of paper that he'd found that he thought was just as good and all of this sort of thing, because of the Tomoe River paper changing. And I sort of was like, I just don't know if I just don't know. Like, I don't know the company well enough to trust that he will pick a good paper, which I know that's awful to say, but, you know, I even emailed him and asked him, you know, oh, can I just ask why you're changing it? And he just said, oh, I just think this one's superior. And it was a bit of a brusque reply as well. I was a bit like, oh, okay. It was basically him saying, like, I know best. So I was a bit, I wasn't going to do it. So then I looked at the other notebooks they got. They have one that I didn't buy, which I can't remember what it's called, but it's called something dot or something circle, and it's a dotted journal, but the dots are like a target. There's like a dot in the middle and then there's a circle around the outside, and that just sort of confused me. I just thought, why on earth would you want that? But hey ho. And then I came across this one, and this one is the 7 Seas Crossfield notebook. And so the dots on this in this notebook are actually crosses, they're not actually dots. It has 480 pages, it is A5 size, and it is a lay flat binding. So this is the one I went for. I actually ended up buying it from Amazon, the US Amazon, just because on the actual Nanami website, it worked out at about the same amount, but if I bought it from Amazon, the VAT was included. I didn't have to worry about anything when it arrived. Whereas on the Nanami website, it was going to cost, I think it was a couple of pounds more, and that didn't include any VAT. So it just included the delivery, I think. And like the notebook itself was cheaper, but the delivery to the UK was like £25 or something like that. So or $25 or whatever. So I ended up ordering it from Amazon Japan, from Amazon US. It arrived in less than a week, I think. It arrived a few days earlier than it was supposed to anyway. And it came like this. It was wrapped in cellophane, I think, and then also in like a sleeve, like a cardboard book sleeve, and then that was in like a bubble mailer. In like an Amazon bubble mailer. So it was well packaged and well protected. And yeah, I mean, it comes in its own, it comes in a little sleeve anyway. This isn't actually the front of the notebook. This is the notebook itself. And it has that sort of like woven pattern to the cover. It has rounded corners. And yeah, the main thing is it has 480 pages, guys. So this is what I ended up going for, and I have already done like some laying out, and I've also already numbered. I only numbered on one side, I didn't number on both sides, but I still only made 3 mistakes, which I was really chuffed with. I was doing that yesterday afternoon while I was watching YouTube. So that is the notebook that we're going to be using, and then obviously this little guy is the cover that I'm going to be using. So I do have an unboxing of this on my channel. This is a Giglio A5 Appunto, and this is in the royal blue leather. And I have an A5 Appunto that I use for my Hobonichi. If you're new around here, I do have lots of videos about that one on my channel. But I wanted something that was a little bit more durable, I suppose. My undyed, I got it because I'm journaling in that. So I wanted any wear and tear on it to be reflective of the fact that I'm journaling on it. And it's, you know, that's me recording my life in it. Whereas this is more, the way that I'm going to be using the bullet journal method is going to be more of a more functional planner sort of thing. It's not a memory keeping, journaling sort of situation. Though, you know, there will still be a little bit of reference material and things in here. So the Giglio has all these lovely pockets. I will probably fill those up maybe at the end of the video. I'm not sure, we'll have to see how long this video gets. But yeah, I am just going to start cracking on. But before I do that, so I'm going to actually use, and I feel like not many people do this, so you know, this could be maybe a reason for this could go completely wrong. I'm actually going to use a fountain pen for when I am prepping this planner. I was very tempted to use like a micron or whatever like everyone else does, but I love my fountain pens, and the reason that I'm using Tomoe river paper is because I love my fountain pens. So this is my TWSBI. This is a Diamond 580 Mini, and it's got in it Diamine Earl Grey. Hang on, let me just do it up again. So this is Diamine Earl Grey, and I'm just going to fill it up because there's not a huge amount left in there at the moment. So then are you a real fountain pen user if this doesn't happen to you? Right then, so are we ready? My pen is inked. Like I say, I'm basically going to go with a theme of Diamine Earl Grey, a grey mild liner, and then I might pull in a Tomoe Funosuke hard tip pen might. I'm not sure yet. I think I probably won't need to. One of the things that I do want to do on the front page here is just to write in the year, and I'm kind of riffing off of, this is like a long form journal that I was using. I only really write in it now, like if there is something that I desperately that I need to get off my chest and I know that there isn't enough room in my cousin. I think what I'm going to do is I will use the Tomoe. I think I'll do the 2021 in the Tomoe just because it's a bit of a thicker line. And then do the rest in the fountain pen. I just really want to do these like leaves that I did in my other one. The other notebook is a Stalogy notebook. Ooh, okay. So the paper on this front cover is not fountain pen friendly, but it's okay. We don't mind a little bit of feathering. I will also do like a little if found to tuck in the pocket as well. So then we are on to page 1 of the notebook, and I've already written this out and I've done it on a post-it note because I want to be able to change it if I want to. I mean, I've been using this key for, oh god, like months, years now, so it's not anything new, and it is basically, a lot of it is just the normal bullet journal key. So you've got task. If I've started something but haven't finished it, I just do 1 line. If it's complete, I do 2. If it's cancelled, line through. If it's important, it's got an asterisk next to it. If there's 2 dots, then it usually means that it's like a work thing. It's how I differentiate things on like a master list or whatever. Events are a circle. A note is a dash. And those are all standard bullet journal method ones, I think. Then for migrating to the next day, forward arrow. If I've migrated it back to a to-do list, it's a back arrow. That normally means that it's been scheduled, but I just class that as even, it could have been moved to a scheduling thing or to a to-do list, is the back arrow. If it's something that is a favourite or a memory or something, or I want to make a note that I read a certain book or something, then it's the little heart. If I've spent some money, it's a little pound sign. And then for birthdays or reoccurring events, appointments type things, then it's a little star. So I am going to just write in key. Actually, I'm hoping that this is capturing, I don't know if it's capturing the colour quite, but Earl Grey is a very beautiful, like purpley grey, so that's why I've chosen it. One of the things that when I used to bullet journal, I never used was the index, but actually since I've been using my Hobonichi to be like an ultimate reference, so I've been copying important things from my A6 planner that I want to keep into my Hobonichi. I have been using the dated pages at the front as sort of like a calendex. So I do want to actually have an index. It is something that I do, like certainly things to do with work and stuff like that, I do often need to refer back to, so it makes sense to me to have an index. So I have set aside the traditional 4 pages. Because this notebook is so big, I'm thinking actually I'm probably going to do 2 columns per page, because I can't see myself needing to write more than, you know, more than half a page for what each thing is. That's the plan. We shall see. Once I get down 1 column, I will then maybe move to the, it depends how many pages I get through, I suppose, actually. My eyes are a bit wonky on those. I haven't done a capital I in cursive in a very long time. I am reading, not reading, I am realising. So the next page, I've decided I'm going to do the grid layout one that everyone does. I wasn't sure at first if I did actually want to do this or not, but I think it will actually become useful. So I'm going to do that on this page, and then on this side I'm going to do a pen test. So I'm just going to rub out, sorry, pen test, and I'm just going to write pen test in, because actually this one won't take very long. And really this is going to be probably like more like fountain pen test, currently inked or whatever. So, and then like I said, on this side I'm going to do the grid layout. I am just going to put in my pencil board. This is the one that I use in my Hobonichi cousin, and I suppose actually I'm going to need another one, aren't I? I'll have to do some shopping for one, just because I do feel like, because there isn't much on this side yet, you've got the pockets and things underneath, it just helps to have something to lean against. From what I can tell, most people like number the boxes down and across, and then they mark out half, third and a quarter. So that's kind of what I've pencil lined. I'm gonna go ahead and write the numbers, and then I will come back to you about the lines. So I think for the lines I'm actually going to use the mild liner, just to differentiate a little bit, and just show that, obviously, so that it's a bit different to the fountain penning. To mark next to the line how many lines it is. So yeah, see, the thirds are slightly off because there's the wrong number of lines to split it into 3. So it's actually, although it's like 13, there's 1 extra. So I am going to just write 13, and then it's 20, and then just plot, we have 13 obviously, We have 8 and we have 6. There we go. And then I think I'm just going to maybe just make a note down in this corner and just put, let's just pull that out for me to rest on. I'm just going to say, grid spacing. Here we go. So let's just blot and move on to the next page. So one of the things that I wasn't sure how I was going to put in this journal was my future log. I deliberated over this for quite a while, and it's basically because I in my A6 I was using an Alistair method future log, and although it worked really well for the limited space that I had, it was confusing for me, I'm not going to lie. Because I didn't like separate out each line for each month, I just wrote the letter. Like I have an astigmatism, I don't know if that makes a difference, but it's certainly like figuring out, hang on, which column is that and which column is that was a little bit of a struggle. So I'm going to go for a traditional future log in this journal, and I'm going to go for a vertical one because I want to have lots of space to do a big list, and that's because I use my future log not just for events but also for tasks and appointments that need doing on certain months. So my plan is to have the month at the top, then a little calendar so that I can just see it, and then just a list of things that need doing, and you know, events and birthdays and things. And I feel like if I have a horizontal one, I will write something that's really long and then I won't have as much room and there won't be as many lines. And then the other thing that I decided was that I wanted to start from January. Now I know traditionally when you're starting a bullet journal, you're supposed to start it from the month that you're in or that you're about to start, which for us, we're in April at the moment, but I often need to refer back to when things happened. So save me having to like essentially do past months calendars in here. I will, if I have the months that have already passed in the year, I can actually refer back to this, because I will just put the dates that things actually happened, and then, you know, if in the future I need to know what date did that happen, what date did that happen, it's written down. And it ultimately comes down to being able to have this as a reference that I can check when I'm out and about, I suppose, and when I'm not at home and have access to my Hobonichi cousin. So let's crack on. we go, I'm quite happy with that. So let's move on to the next page. So I've kept the whole year together just so that I can just literally put a little marker in here and I know where I need to go. There we go, guys. So that is a bit tedious, but I think it will be incredibly useful for me to have it laid out this way. So fingers crossed, I will get a lot of use out of it. So the next couple of pages, we start to get into trackers, so collections and things. I've got a few collections mapped out in here that I actually haven't, I've not mapped them out in the order that I think I'm actually going to end up putting them in here. So we will, so you might see things not quite matching up to what's been penciled in. So yeah, I am going to move things around a little bit. I basically was doing these yesterday afternoon, like as it occurred to me, oh, I need this, oh, I need this, rather than thinking, what do I need and then what order am I going to put them in. So I'm going to start off with a package tracker, I suppose. I'm going to call it incoming packages. Item, and then I'm going to have dispatched, arrived and returned, dispatched, arrived and returned. So keeping that one very simple. Then on this side I'm actually going to put in my recommendations collection because I need something that is only one page. Hey Google, how do you spell recommendations? So this one's really simple. I just have a few different categories that I will, you know, take recommendations from people. And I just have other, film, TV, podcast, music, and book. And to be honest, I get the most book recommendations, obviously, but I do also get others. So I just like to categorize it using like an Alistair method list. And again, I'm just going to use my ruler just to draw in just a little a little framework, just to give it a little bit of structure. So that is my recommendations list. Okay guys, so we're going to move through some of the other collections now. The next two that we're going to do are my wish list and gift list. These ones are really simple and I just do them like I did the recommendations one. So I'm going to start with wish list. And I do an Alistair method the same as in the other one, and I break it down into a few different categories. So I have other, home, clothing, beauty, and planner. And this just, you know, it just gives me a little bit of some structure to, you know, what I'm putting on here. Actually, you know what, I'm going to add another column in, and I'm going to put tech. Then I'm going to do my gift list. And originally I wasn't planning to actually put these two in here because I have them in my Hobonichi, but I do a lot of, you know, I see a lot of things to get people, or that I would like when I'm out and about. So, and if I don't write it down, then I will forget. So I just think, so, and then on this one, so I basically write the different family members that I end up buying things for sometimes, and I can always add extra people on there if I want to, I suppose. Okay guys, we are not going to plan today. My phone has just decided that there's too much stuff in it. So we're going to crack on. So these two I can't rub out. I did rub out the previous two. Can't rub out these two because I will need to be able to refer to them. But what I am putting on these 2 pages is my reading log. Now this is something that I've previously only really had as just like a list of the books that I've read. But what I actually want to do is to actually track when I start and finish books. And I do this on Goodreads. But one of the things that I do want to kind of pay attention to, I suppose, is like how much I'm reading each month. Sort of, yeah, just to kind of get an idea of my actual reading habits, sort of thing. So the layout that I'm going for with this reading log, I want to have the title and author, over on this side. On this side, I'm moving in 5 boxes, and I'm going to put a little star there because I want to actually start recording what my star rating is for these, for what I'm reading. I don't do this very often. I'm really rubbish at doing it on Goodreads. But I do actually want to know what I thought of a book. And then I also want to know what date I started it and what date I finished it. So I'm just going to draw in the column line for the stars so that I'm sort of working right to left here, so that I've got myself, so that I'm leaving myself enough room, basically. I think for the dates, I only really need to write like the day and the month. So I think if I just do 2 boxes for each, so if I go, let's go finished, and that will be 2 columns, and then started. So I have erased those, the previous notes, because we're actually putting that onto the next page, which I have also erased. This video is taking a lot longer than you're actually seeing because I'm moving everything around. Right, so on the next page we are doing cleaning and adulting trackers. So I wanted to do basically cleaning and adulting. Cleaning, it's like my weekly cleaning list. I don't necessarily do all of it every week, but I like to keep a track of what I've done what week and what I haven't done. I originally had a really long list for this, and then I actually decided that I don't need a really long list for this. Like, if I give myself a really long list, then I'm just not going to get it all done. And I can always put things on the more monthly list. And you know, if I manage to get it done in the week or more than 1 week, then hey, that's great. So I am just going to put this together. This is going to be like a 2-column job, and yeah, I sort of I'm just trying to think how to do this so that you can see it, because I need to actually, yeah, I'm just going to turn around. We're going to turn this way because I need to write horizontally. So now that I've got those written in, I'm just going to go in with that grey mild liner. And I am actually going to put in the full 52 weeks because I like to keep track of progress made, basically. So and then yeah, I will just tick the things that I've done on which weeks, and then I can sort of see what weeks I get things done. And I basically just, if I haven't done something for a couple of weeks, then I then make sure that I do it that week. So next up is adulting. So this is more this is more monthly tracking, and I did originally when I had this in my A6, I had it on a weekly one like this, and I just found that I just felt like it was a waste of space, to be honest. I just felt like it didn't need to be so I don't know, yes, some things need to happen on certain weeks and they should be done in more weekly increments than monthly, but I just felt like it was taking up a lot of space for not a huge amount in there, is what I'm trying to say. And then I'm going to just put in my little grid framework, and then I will write my list down here because it's quite a long list. And I am hoping that I've left enough room for if I need to add anything as well as time goes on, that I think, oh yeah, I could do with adding that to that list. at the bottom so that if there's anything else that I can think of, I can just put them in there. On the one that I had in my A6, I also had things like the dentist and the optician and stuff, and like having haircuts, but I feel like those will be in my future log on my calendar, so I feel like maybe that's duplicating a little bit. Right, so let's move on to the next collection. So the next collections are actually going to be, I'm starting to move into the health related ones now. So I'm going to start with a page where I can just keep a record of my health history, just because it is useful. It's been useful to me a few times, just to have like a reference for this. So I'm gonna keep it very simple and just put I'm going to leave a little bit of space so that I can write like key information and conditions, and then I can put like the other stuff underneath, like the more detailed date stuff. But I want to have somewhere where it's got written down what conditions I have, what medications I take, just so that it can be referred to in an emergency. I will probably also put something just in the front with, maybe more so with my medications in. I do have the thing enabled on my phone, but sometimes, you know, it's just good to have it written down. So that's going to be there. Then on this side, we're going to do my yoga and walking tracker. So I'm just going to call it fitness. And then I'm going to do 2 columns, one for walking and one for yoga. I am just going to draw in the lines just to keep it, just to sort of keep it clear. So this one is going to be for my blood pressure and weight tracking. And I need this one because a medication that I'm on, I have to send them my OBS, basically. I have to send them my blood pressure, pulse, weight and height. Obviously my height doesn't change, but my my weight and my blood pressure and my pulse do. So I keep a record of those. I am actually I do it daily. I don't know that I actually need to do it daily, but I do it daily. And I want to be able to have sort of a whole year so that I've got it to refer to, I think. Because often, like, if I've got an appointment and I'm away from home, I don't carry my cousin with me, and that's where I put it in the morning. So what I'm going to do is basically have like the week numbers, and I think split it into Hey Google, what's 25 divided by 8? just going to list the week numbers. I haven't got blood pressure information from right at the beginning of the year. I only started recording it in February, and I didn't do it very consistently in February. So I don't have complete information to fill this out with, but I have enough to sort of be going on with it. There we go. So that's sort of like my health stuff kind of done. Next we're going to move into like like business stuff. So on this page I'm going to be doing my YouTube planning. I like to I film my videos normally more than one in a day. So I will film a couple of videos at once so that I've then got them banked to then just be edited and uploaded when the right week comes around. It just helps me keep on top of it, really. I find if I try and do one every week, it takes up a chunk of my day. Like this today I've been doing this for like 4 hours almost. So it takes up a long time filming videos and then editing them. So I like to have a bit of a plan, and I like to track like the different stages of each video so that I know what's filmed and what needs the thumbnail making and all of that sort of thing. I'm going to go with... I'm just going to move this further down here actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a column for the week. So I try to post weekly. I don't always manage it, but I do try to. And then I'm just going to have the title. Then I need certain things to be done for each thing. So, and I'm going to work backwards here. So like the last stage that I do is I promote it on Instagram. The next thing that I do is I schedule it, I write the description, I upload it, I edit it, I do the thumbnail, I photo the thumbnail, and I film it. So there's quite a few different stages that go into like preparing for each video, but if I have all of those checked off, I mean I just do them now, but when I'm trying to do stuff in advance, it helps me to know, have I done the thumbnail for that video? Oh, I can't remember. I better go and check. If I've got it written down, if I've got it checked off, I don't then have to go and find my iPad and see whether it's, see whether the thumbnail is on there. Have I even transferred the thumbnail to the computer? There's lots of different factors that go into this sort of thing. So it'll just be useful to be able to just check those off. Then on this side, we are getting into business stuff. So I am going to have a page here for product ideas. I might actually just leave it blank and let myself, just as I come up with an idea, write it in. So the next one I'm going to do is product reference info. So this is I suppose it's like product purchasing reference info. So the next one is shop tasks, and this one is one that I don't think I've ever shown this filled out before. I will designate how long something will take. I also do this with my day job, with the things that I have to do with my day job, and I just basically think, okay, if it is going to be more than 2 hours, then I will mark that one. If it's going to be less than 2 hours, if it's going to be 30 to 60 minutes, if it's going to be 10 to 30 minutes, if it's going to be less than 10 minutes. And then if I've got less than 10 minutes, I know that I can only do something that's in the less than 10 minutes column. I do actually run a course on how I manage time in my business and how I plan in my business. One of the things that goes on this task list is digitize course, because I want to be able to basically set it up so that I want to basically film it so that I can just have it, as it's something that you can just pay for and get access to the videos and the materials that go along with it, but I just haven't got around to it yet. But if it is something that you are interested in, then let me know. Right, so work hours. So this is something that I, I've been keeping track of this for, I keep track of it for the whole year. Okay, so for work hours, I've gone quite straightforward. I've basically got the week numbers, the days of the week, and then I've got the total at the end there. And I usually just plus or minus how many hours and minutes over I've done. Yeah, it just gives me something to refer to when I need to reference what times I actually worked until. So on this side, I'm actually doing my work schedule. And this is going to be more of a, like my ideal working week, how I would like to split up my time in my ideal working week. So that's just I've left it mostly empty for now. This is something that I'll figure out as time goes on. But I've just done the days of the week, and I've just, with the grey mild liner, I've just realised I've missed Friday. I've just put like my start and finish times, and then on Mondays and Thursdays I've put my lunch in, because I generally, those days it's only my lunch I have to think about. The other days I have to think about my staff's lunches as well. So on this page I'm going to be doing my work trackers. Now these are a beast, not gonna lie, absolute beast. If you don't know, I am a librarian, hence my username, but I also, as part of being a librarian, I manage a site, and I also manage our social media. Because of those different hats that I wear, I have multiple things that I have to keep track of, and some of them are weekly, some of them are monthly. So I am going to basically do like 2 different trackers on this spread. I'm basically along the top here I'm going to do a weekly tracker. I'm not going to bother putting in the weeks that I've already, well, not all of the weeks that I've already gone. I'm not going to start from week 1. I'm just going to on this side write in what the tasks are, and then I will number the weeks going across. I'm not going to draw the line down here yet until I've written in the tasks, because I don't know quite how much room I'm going to need. And then underneath I'm going to do a monthly tracker. So the final thing that I am going to put in here, I'm actually going to put at the back, and that is work passwords. So I'm putting it at the back mainly so that if I'm showing you the front of this planner, you can't see this and I don't have to constantly think, oh, I've got to blank that page out. So I'm just keeping that one really simple. Right, so that is all of my collections set up. This has been an incredibly long video. I don't know how long it's going to end up once I've sped things up. I'm just not sure. There is the final sort of things that I want to put in here is a master list. Now I know that I know that Ryder Carroll doesn't recommend this, but it is something that is incredibly useful to me, that I use all the time. And it's basically just how I keep everything together, but it is something that I know will I will end up threading more to this basically, and I am going to, for this, use the same method that I have been using in my A6 rings, which is to do work, home, shop, and is it urgent, and that's been working really well for me. So I don't really want to upset the apple cart. I don't really want to complicate it anymore. So it is another Alistair method one. essentially anything that isn't time specific, so it doesn't need to go on the future log because it's not a task for a specific month. It is just things that need doing. They will go on here. In fact, actually, I think I'm going to allow 4 pages for the beginning, just so that I've got plenty to be going on with. So I am actually going to, I think, just quickly set up, I'm actually going to set up April, even though today, the day that I'm filming, is the 18th, because I want to be able to use this. So I could set up May, but then I haven't got what I need for April. So I am going to set up April. I think, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't sure how I wanted to do the calendar portion of this for quite a while, and then I decided I'm gonna try sort of the bullet journal way. I'm gonna just add a couple of little things, but I'm also gonna just do a little visual calendar up in the corner as well, because I cannot function I can't function with a calendar list if I can't see what day of the week it is, and having the letter down the side, just, it doesn't help me at all. So that will just help me be able to visualize a little bit better with the tasks, with the calendar, with the what day is what. I'm actually just going to draw a little line like that, just to separate out the days. And then down this side, I am going to do the days. I am going to do, though, what Ryder says to do, and just split it with the little lines to indicate the week. I'm just going to also put a little along here, and then the final thing I'm going to add into this calendar is that might be, that's quite a lot of space. I don't think I need that much space. This little bit here, which is where I'm going to write what we're having for dinner, because that is that's the one thing that I use a weekly spread for. And this little space up here, I'm sort of thinking, well, I might keep that for, I suppose I would like put any really important events up there maybe. Obviously most things are going to go down here. And then on this side we've got my task list. This one I am going to be formatting kind of like my weekly task lists that I've been doing, but I'm going to do it for a monthly. And basically what I do is any task, if it needs doing on a specific week, I just put a dot in that week. If it needs doing any other time, it goes in the far right hand column. And yeah, so I'm going to try this for the next couple of weeks. We're here, so I've got nearly 2 full weeks that I'm going to try this out, and I'm going to be rapid logging, which is basically what I do in my A6 anyway. So I'm just going to be rapid logging and just seeing how using this space goes. But yeah, so that is my bullet journal setup done for now, for the next couple of weeks anyway. And then at least in May I can just set up the monthly and away I go. I'm not putting a habit tracker in here because I do most of my actual habit tracking in my Hobonichi. That's not going to change because I fill that out at the end of the day when I'm journaling, and I just check off how I've done on everything. So for the most part, I don't need that tracker. The only trackers that I need are the ones that I have put in here. So I am now going to go and get a drink because this has been several hours long. Thank you so much for sitting through this. I hope you've enjoyed it and that you will like and subscribe if you have, and that you will follow along with my journey using this bullet journal. If you've got any recommendations or any collections or things that you think that I should add in, please do recommend them down below, because I am always looking for new things that I want to keep a record of. And yeah, I hope that you will come back and join me for more of these bullet journal videos to see how this is going. But thank you so much for watching. I am very, very grateful, and I will see you next time. Bye.